Hello once again. Now this, in my humble opinion, is one of the best anti-war songs ever written. And even though I'm speaking over the words, I encourage you to listen to its poignancy with the music. So I've left a link to the song itself. And much more importantly, I've left a link to an historic speech given by John Fitzgerald Kennedy in the 1960s, who may have been assassinated for giving this speech. Professor Jeffrey Sachs explains in great detail in his monologue. And I'm completely gobsmacked by the lies we've been told over the years. Consequently, all my history books tell lies and cannot be relied upon anymore. Please, I beg you to forward either this video or his speech to as many people as you possibly can, because it's vitally important today. Now, we, the ordinary people of this world, do not want war. We want peace. And we need to distance ourselves from the radical warmongers in this world. And Professor Jeffrey Sachs will tell you exactly who they are by historical facts, not the propaganda we are led to believe and we are being fed. And all because of an imagined hatred by a few psychopaths in charge of a crumbling empire. The real William McBride was actually 21, and in those innocent church attending days probably never knew the pleasure of a woman, and perhaps only had his mother's love, and then was sent off to meet his fate. And tragically, his last words may have been calling out for the mother he left behind. The First World War was supposedly to be the war that ended all wars. Quite obviously it wasn't, because we never learn, do we? Ever. We humans seem to have some uncanny death wish. The 20th century was without doubt the bloodiest century since time began. Let's hope it remains that. According to official figures, approximately 200 million people died in wars in the 20th century. And it's probably a lot higher than that, and I'll explain why that is. I had a very good fortune to live in Finland for a very short while, and I had a very interesting story told to me by a lady who was born and spent her childhood in Karjala, bordering Russia. As a child, she and her friends were playing in the dirt near her home, and they came across skeletons. And they were Russian, made obvious by the uniforms they wore, and quite obviously died in the Winter War by their thousands. And my point is this. This lady wasn't elderly, and I would say that the timeline would be around 1970. And that's just 31 years after the Winter War. And those soldiers have lain there all that time. Probably just one of many thousands in unmarked shallow graves. Someone's son, someone's husband, someone's sweetheart that never returned home and just lay there in the dirt all this time. Yes, they were Russians, but they certainly weren't Stalin. They were just cannon fodder and an expendable to an oppressive regime. And exactly the same thing is going on today, and the innocent are paying with their lives. Sides don't matter, people do. When the events of today finish, people will be asking, where have all the young men gone? Leaving mothers, fathers and children, wondering what the hell happened. The war will be eventually over, and leaders will casually shake hands across a desk while signing a peace declaration. But that old woman will keep waiting for her martyred son, and those children will keep waiting for their hero father. And they all wait in vain for boys lost to those war hawks with no conscience who sit in their ivory towers. And the tragedy is, it's only the dead that see the end of the war. If we don't stop the war now, war will eventually end us all. That is for certain. And once again, I implore you to watch Jeffrey Sachs' video. It tells truths many of us never knew because we were lied to by omission and the fake history we've been told. Thank you so much for listening to a genuine plea from just one of the many billions of ordinary people on this planet who no doubt feel exactly the same way. Thank you.